What's up, everyone? So we just wrapped up The Institute Season 1, and let me tell you, there's a lot to unpack about what's coming next. Before we even got to that intense finale, MGM Plus already dropped the news that we're getting a Season 2, which honestly, thank goodness, because that ending left us with so many questions. Season 1 Renewal news. Here's the thing. Season 1 completely adapted Stephen King's original novel, but that doesn't mean we're done with this world. There are still major loose ends that need to be tied up, and Joe Freeman, who plays our main character Luke Ellis, has some pretty specific ideas about where this story should go next. Unresolved character fates. Let's talk about what we're left hanging on. We've got Luke's fate still up in the air, plus his remaining friends, Wendy Gullickson, played by Hannah Galway, and Tim Jamieson, played by Ben Barnes. But the real wild cards here are the villains. Miss Sigsby, played by the incredible Mary-Louise Parker, and that mysterious man on the phone, played by Jeff Fahey, who's apparently running this whole twisted operation across multiple institutes worldwide. Joe Freeman's vision for Season 2. Now, Freeman recently sat down for an interview about the season finale, and he got really honest about the challenges of continuing a story that Stephen King originally wrote as a standalone. And here's what's interesting. He's got some strong opinions about what Season 2 should not become. Freeman straight up said he doesn't want this show turning into some X-Men situation where they're just going institute to institute, breaking in and freeing kids. I mean, I get it. That could get pretty repetitive pretty fast. Deep dive into precognition powers. Instead, Freeman wants to go deeper. He's pushing for Season 2 to really explore the precognition abilities, what they call the PC track in the show. We got a taste of Luke's powers in Season 1, but there's so much more to unpack there. Freeman specifically mentioned wanting to understand more about how these precognitive abilities actually work. Character backstory exploration. But here's where it gets really interesting. Freeman wants to dive into everyone's backstories. We know Luke's background pretty well at this point, and we have some idea about Tim's past, but Freeman specifically mentioned this incident at the mall that we've only heard hints about. He wants Tim to actually confront his past, which could make for some seriously compelling television. And get this, he also wants to explore how characters like Nikki grew up and find out where Kalisha and George ended up. There's apparently a whole world of stories they could tell here. What this means for the show's direction. So what does all this mean for the Institute moving forward? Well, Season 1 already expanded beyond the original source material, especially when it came to Luke's precognitive abilities. The show really beefed up the Institute's PC category compared to the book. The precog storyline potential. Exploring precognition further seems like the natural next step. Here's something cool from the book. The institutes actually choose their targets based on information from people they call precogs. So there's a clear way to shift focus to these precognitive characters while still keeping the man on the phone and the other institutes as ongoing threats. Plus, Luke's abilities in this area could definitely evolve and get stronger. Avoiding the X-Men trap. Now, rescuing kids from more institutes does seem like an obvious direction, especially after that Season 1 finale teased us with the man on the phone, who's apparently named William Smith in the book, trying to keep this global operation running while also starting his own family. But Freeman's right to be cautious about not letting it become too much like X-Men. Tim Jamieson's expanded role. As for the backstory stuff, Season 1 already gave Tim a much bigger presence than he had in the original novel. And with an actor like Ben Barnes, delving more into his past could be an effective way to continue that expansion. Though honestly, diving into the backstories of Luke's surviving friends seems less likely. That might be spreading things a bit thin, although it could still happen. Why this approach could work? Here's the thing that has me excited about Freeman's approach. Having already read the book took away some of the intrigue while watching Season 1, but this won't be an issue with Season 2. That's going to be uncharted territory for everyone, book readers and newcomers alike. The man on the phone's family connection. The precog storyline has the most potential, especially since we learned that the man on the phone has grandchildren and genuine emotional connections to them. That adds a whole new layer of complexity to this character that could be really fascinating to explore. Final thoughts on Season 2 prospects. Look, there's always some risk when a show moves beyond its source material. We've seen that go both ways with other adaptations. But Freeman's ideas sound really solid, and the fact that Stephen King supported Season 1 gives me confidence that they're going to handle this expansion of his world respectfully. The Institute Season 2 has the potential to be even better than the first season because they're not just adapting, they're creating something new within this established world. And honestly, that's pretty exciting. Release window. While we don't have an official release date yet, with the renewal announced before the Season 1 finale even aired, it seems like MGM Plus is pretty committed to getting Season 2 into production. We'll keep you updated as soon as we hear more about when we can expect to return to this twisted world. That's a wrap on everything we know about the Institute Season 2 so far. What do you think about Joe Freeman's ideas for where the story should go? Are you excited to see more precognition powers, or do you want them to focus more on the character backstories? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.